Hi friends, this is Carrie from Stamp with CT. I am popping in today to talk to you about inspiration. So, during the holidays, I was thinking about different things that I could do for the new year. I'm not really one for resolutions per se, but I do love having new crafting goals, and one of the things that I really enjoy is exploring the different ways that we can be inspired in our paper crafting and card making. So I thought it would be fun this year for me to do a video for you each Friday, and we're going to explore different ways that we can find inspiration. Now, there are so many things that inspire us in our paper crafting. Sometimes we just look at the catalog or a magazine and we see something that we think, oh, that would be perfect. Or we may see a piece of fabric or clothing and those color combos are just so pretty together. And that's what inspires us. We may receive a project, a card from someone, and want to recreate it. So where do we find inspiration and how do we use that in our crafting? So that's what these videos on Fridays are going to be about. They're going to be a little bit different. I do a Facebook Live every Wednesday, and they're going to be a little bit different than that. In the Facebook Live, we almost always create at least one project and we put the project together. Sometimes in these inspiration videos, we may not do that necessarily. Now, this first month, what I decided to do, because we have a brand new mini catalog that is full of samples, hundreds of samples in our catalogs to inspire you, but then also we have our Sale-A-Bration brochure. So Sale-A-Bration is a promotion that Stampin' Up! Offers, and it's January and February of 2022 that this is actually going on. So if you're watching the video later, you can still get inspiration, but these products may not be available. But we have the Sale-A-Bration brochure. Everything in this little brochure is free, and so they're gifts with purchase, and there's a $50 level, level 1, there's a $100 level, level 2. So this beautiful stamp set and designer series paper, it's a 12 by 12. I have it here and I'll show it to you. But this Friendly Hello stamp set and designer series paper. When you place an order of $100, you're able to choose this as your gift and you get both. Pretty awesome. It's beautiful. So in the process of trying to think about inspiration, I wanted to definitely go to the Sale-A-Bration brochure. This is a little card that really stood out to me. I'll bring it closer. If you have your Sale-A-Bration brochure, you may want to pull it out. It's going to be a little bit difficult probably on video for you to see the details in the card, and we'll talk about too how this card is put together. It's lovely, but anytime that I case or copy and share with edits, that's what I like that to stand for. I tend not to end up creating exactly this project. For one thing, I don't have the little butterfly embellishment. I did have them, but I used them as a team prize. So I don't have those. But I'm not going to let that be a roadblock to me creating this super cute little card. So let's get started with this. I've shown you my inspiration. I'll show you my project, and then we'll talk a little bit about the supplies. Now, one of the things in that inspiration that I didn't have was the ribbon that they used. So I actually pulled in the ribbon from the July to December mini catalog. It coordinated with our Halloween products. This does not have to just be Halloween ribbon by any means. I think it looks super cute with these products, and it carried over into this catalog, so I pulled that out. I really liked using the basic border dies to create the kind of pocket effect, almost like a little envelope. I love that, but in the sample, that's really covered. Those strips that are bannered of designer series paper, they're placed over that. So you don't really get to see a lot of that stitch detail. And then the sentiment is moved up as well. So let me bring that picture back in. And you can see that although this was really my jumping off point, my card is similar, but it's not exactly the same. Many times, I mean, I have a lot of Stampin' Up! Supplies, but I don't have everything that's offered. But I may find a project that I'd really like to recreate. So being able to sub in things that we already have, I think that's really a great way to utilize and get the most out of the products that we've invested in. So let's talk a little bit about this awesome stamp set. I love it. It is a photopolymer stamp set, 13 stamps in this set. This is a really nice set because you've got a mixture of beautiful sentiments and also beautiful images. This bird is lovely. I can't wait to use it on a project. I've seen a lot of samples out there already with this bird, and it's just beautiful. You can use it, stamp it directly on designer series paper. You can stamp it on cardstock and paper piece it. You can color it with our blends or markers or chalks. So many options, but isn't this just a lovely set? And then it also has the designer series paper. So we'll go over some of these pieces. This is Fresh Freesia. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. Love it. This stripe is really a lot of fun. Let me work on getting this coordinated a little bit better for you. This one with dots is really cute. And then we've got this little background with Pool Party. And then here it is again, the beautiful floral images. Now one of the papers, I'll show you the B-side in a second. This is a card that I created for a swap with other demonstrators. We love doing that. It inspires us and it gives us lots of ideas. I love because people have such a different approach to the different products, and so it really does inspire me. That's one of the ways I gather inspiration. But I used this piece of designer series paper, but I used it all up. So this is a card, one of those bookbinder cards that I created, and that's one of the designer series papers as well. One of the designs in it. Let's turn this over and we'll take a look at the B side. I love just the light colors in this. Definitely makes me think of spring. So pretty. And it just gives you lots of options and contrast. That's really pretty too. Okay, so those are the papers and the stamps we're going to be using. Let me bring my sample back in and we'll start putting together our card. So I went ahead and got the card base. I cut it at 11 by 4 1/4, scored it at 5 1/2. I don't normally do a top folding card, but it really lent itself with this little pocket look or envelope look. Got a couple of pieces of designer series paper. And because it's thinner, I'm able to stack this together. I'm able to bring in my Taylor tag punch. And this is one of the ways I love making a banner, is popping it into this punch, kind of lining it up, coming up just a little bit to shorten that designer series paper just a little bit. And then when you punch, you've got your banners and they're just perfect. Now you can certainly take your snips and snip up and in from each side, but that's just so easy. If you have that punch, be sure you're using it that way. Okay, then I have a couple. I went ahead and did a couple just in case I mess up, because sometimes I do. These are Stitch So Sweetly die cuts that we're going to stamp our greeting on. And then I have a couple of pieces of the Pool Party cardstock, and I decided that I would use those basic border dies. Now you may remember, because I was super excited about these, especially when they first came out last May. And I used them some, but I need to pull them back out and use them some more. So these border dies are what I use to create the little envelope or pocket part of the card. And I believe that's what Stampin' Up! Did, the concept artist at Stampin' Up! As well. So you could really use any of these border dies, but don't forget, a lot of our die sets have a border die in with it, so pull those out too. You've got lots of options. So that's how these are cut, is with those border dies. And honestly, these are just a piece of cardstock that's 4 1/4 inches wide and about 4 1/4 inches long and about 2 inches wide. So it doesn't even take that much. And what we may do is mix it up just a little bit and use this more rounded one this time. Have it ready. And then I've got a piece for our inside panel. So we are going to, let's do some stamping first. I'm going to grab my piercing mat because I didn't do that. But I do have my stamps all ready to go on my clear blocks. And I'm using the Memento Tuxedo black ink. It's such a really nice black ink. Bring in my sentiment piece first. And we'll make sure that we get it inked up really well. So photopolymer stamps, you always want to use an old phone book, a piercing mat, a stack of magazines, something to give a little bit of cushion underneath. Making sure I get that really well inked up. It's a pretty good sized font. And we'll press down, pressing for about 5 seconds to get that ink to transfer. And I didn't do the greatest job stamping, you guys. That's not inked up well. So I'm really glad that I cut a second little label piece with Stitch So Sweetly. Let's try that again. I probably need to re-ink my ink pad as well. Giving that just a couple seconds to transfer that ink. And that's a little bit better image, but it's awfully crooked, isn't it? Let me see. A lot of times I look at it upside down. It is crooked, but I think we're going to go with this one because it, well, I don't know. We're going to go with this one. It's a little bit better stamped image. Not perfect, it's handmade, right? Now I'm also going to pull in some Pool Party ink because like I told you, I don't have those butterflies, but we do have this beautiful floral image that's part of this stamp set. I'm just going to bring it over here to this side and just add that over in the corner. So it still gives us a little bit of contrast. It's really pretty, subtle. You still notice the sentiment, but you've got that subtle color as well. Okay, I'm stamping on the inside of my cards this year. That's one of my crafty goals. So I'm going to re-ink this floral image. And this time I think I'm going to bring it right down here in the lower right hand side. Again, just letting that ink transfer over. So pretty. I think we're ready to assemble. I don't know that I grabbed any dimensionals, so let me reach back. I've got a little basket on the back of my desk where I keep those type of supplies. So I'm going to first put some dimensionals on the back of this piece. And what I may do is come in and just cut this and use the bones. We like to call those edges of our dimensionals the bones. My friend Rick started that, and I just think that's a great name for him, isn't it? Making sure I'm on the back side of this. Just going to add some strips of dimensionals. Make sure that's got some good coverage. I put one more little dimensional right over there on this side. So I found turning my card upside down was really the best way to add this. But before we do that, I want to add my strips of Designer Series paper. So these may be a little bit long. So I'm just going to put them on, kind of decide, bring it back this way, kind of decide. I like that they're askew a bit. I think that makes it more whimsical and cute. So I'm going to just lay them out like that. I'm going to grab my glue. Add a little glue here. And a little glue underneath. May not be able to see that, but I'm just adding that toward the top of those banners. So again, I'm adding my strips underneath that little pocket area, and then I can just come in with my snips and remove that excess Designer Series paper, just quick and easy like that. Now, I've messed up, didn't I? I put on my dimensionals before I put my ribbon on, but you know what? I think we're still going to be able to make it work. There's always a way. I just get so excited, y'all. Can't help myself. So I'm actually going to just kind of stick this ribbon to that part of the dimensional. Wrap it around. Let me make sure I'm still in camera view. Oops. It makes it a little bit more challenging once it's all sticky, doesn't it? I never make anything easy. And then we'll come around, and I may even just stick another dimensional right there to hold that piece of ribbon down. That's going to be a real good fix for that. Snip this off. If you'll ever do something like that, decide you want to add ribbon or get ahead of yourself, I do it all the time. You can always fix it. So that's where I want to put that. Now I'm ready to add this to the top of my card. Just turning it upside down lets me line it up a lot easier. My lights are so bright. I'm just making sure that I've got that even. Perfect. Not perfect, but exactly what I want. Okay, we can actually just adhere this down. Could also pop it up if you want to. I think I'm going to do the same thing and just adhere that little sentiment down over on this side. And I'll come down just a little bit. I've got it justified to the right because I'm going to come in with my bow and add it, and I feel like that just kind of balances everything out. Love this ribbon. Super, super cute. You can color it if you use your Stampin' Blends or alcohol markers. And I have some exciting news for y'all. If you love Stampin' Blends, we are going to be getting some skin tones, some natural tone Stampin' Blends coming very soon. If you're a demonstrator, let's try that again. I got it a little bit twisted. If you're a demonstrator, you can order them now. And customers will be able to order them starting in February. So I know a lot of you love our Stampin' Blends. They make it so easy to color. I'm excited about the natural tones. So if you just love Stampin' Blends and you can't wait till February, you could always join our team. There's a great joining special during Sale-A-Bration, and we would love to have you on our team. So let me know if you need more info. I'm going to bring my little basket of adhesive in because I did not grab glue dots. That's what we need to add our cute little bow. And I usually use a couple of them. Put that right there. So cute. So what do we lack? We still need a little bit of shiny, right? So this is my new favorite embellishment. These are called iridescent rhinestones, and you can probably see I've already used quite a few from the package. I'm hoping that that light will pick up how shiny and bright they are, so sparkly. What's really awesome is the fact that you can, whatever you put it by, whatever you put these little rhinestones by, they really pick up the color around them, and it just changes the look of them. I think you're gonna love them. So be sure to add some of these to your order. Iridescent rhinestones. We're going to put one, oops. Yeah, there we go. We're going to put one right in the center there of our flower. And then all we lack is adding our inside panel, and I buried it over here under a bunch of stuff. We're going to add our inside panel, and we will have our cased card our way, all finished up. Kind of like stamping on the inside. Looks pretty. Like that pool party with fresh freesia. A little bit of skew here. Let me get this line back up. Pool party and fresh freesia. Who would have thought that color combination? Not me. It's pretty. Okay, now you could certainly sprinkle on more embellishments if you wanted to, but I think this turned out really, really cute. So remember, this was our inspiration from page 13 of the Sale-A-Bration brochure, and here's our version because I didn't have that ribbon. And I wanted to put a little bit different spin on how I placed everything on the card. So I hope you enjoyed this gathering inspiration video, and I hope you'll join me every Friday here on YouTube. So if you have not subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and when you do that, you'll be notified by YouTube that I have a new video available, and you can come and check out that content and get inspired. Until then, thank you so much.